Are you a lazy girly, but you still want to get things done? You still desire to get things done. You're not like depressed or anything. You just don't really have the energy, or you don't even really know where to start because there's so many things that you need to do. You got to socialize. You got to make sure you get enough sleep. You got to make sure you drink enough water. You got to make sure you're moving your body. You got to make sure you're playing with your children and giving them attention, and got to make sure you're walking the dog. Got to make sure you're calling your mom and speaking to her throughout the week, and sometimes things just get a little bit overwhelming, but I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. There is a way that you can still be a lazy girly and still gather your energy and be in your feminine energy while also getting things done as well. Now, I can't speak from a perspective of someone who has a family and children and things like that, but I am speaking for the girlies who are single and, newly single and newly out on their own, and girlies who have just moved to another city or whatever you feel like would resonate with you, learning how to have a more balanced lifestyle. Now, I'm not saying that the mother shouldn't continue listening, because I'm sure that there's something that you can grab from this, but I won't be speaking from a perspective of, if you have children, you can do this or blah, blah, blah. This is what I found work for me, because I can't relate to that. So stay if you want. If you don't feel like it would be helpful, then whatever. But I wanted to share these tips with you because they have helped me so much in trying to balance my life, because I do this and I'm making videos mostly every day. I'm having to edit a lot more, and I'm also working 12 hours night shift at my 9 to 5, and I have to make sure that I'm getting enough sleep so that I'm able to work for the night and be up for the night, and also making sure that I have enough energy for the patients, and also making sure that I have enough energy for myself and for my coworkers, and just really to show up as my best self at work, but also not drain myself, but also make sure that I'm moving my body, and also making sure that I'm eating healthy meals and snacks and things like that. So I was just like all over the place, feeling very defeated, if you will. And one thing that I found that worked for me is creating lists, and also meal prepping all of my meals, because that's one thing that I don't have to think about all week. And whenever you decide to meal prep your meals, is completely up to you. But I always try to meal prep my meals the day before I go to work, or if I can on like a Sunday or something. I don't like to do it too far in advance if I'm working later in the week, because I want to make sure that it's as fresh as possible, because I'm one of those ones who just love fresh food. Now, before I started doing this, I would cook every single day that I had to work, and it was just really draining me, and I never found time to be able to create as much as I wanted. So that's really why I had to figure out another way to do things, because I wanted to be able to create more, and to be able to post on my YouTube more, and to be able to interact with you guys more, and be able to show up for Dose of Destiny as my full self. And that's what I have found to work for me, is to go to create a list of all the things, and sometimes I'll just get on Pinterest and look for good meal preps, or I might come across something on Facebook, or just something that I've made previously that I'm craving right now. And that has really worked for me. And what I do is, if I'm working 3 or 4 days, because sometimes I have to work overtime, and then 4 days, 48 hours at work at the hospital overnight, it's just like overkill sometimes. So I know that if I at least have something to eat in the morning, and something to eat before work, and also a little something at work, then I'm going to be okay. I don't have to worry too much. Now, all of this extra time that I have that would have went to me cooking myself something to eat before I went to work, I can use that time to record a video, and I can also use that time to work out. Two of the things that I absolutely want to do every day before work. So meal prepping has helped me a lot. I know it seems like a lot, but it's really not that much. And half the time, it really only takes me about 30 minutes to an hour maybe to prep 3 meals for the week, and to prep breakfast, and to prep one thing in bulk that I usually like to eat before work. So I'll make like tuna, or I'll make egg salad, or I'll have a sandwich or something that I like to make real quick, something I don't necessarily have to cook, but just assemble. Or I'll have a salad or something like that, but I'll boil my eggs and prep that so that I don't have to worry about boiling eggs and things like that. So it's really just being innovative and really trying to figure out how you can make your life easier, how you can really utilize your time and your resources that you have around you so that you are not burnt out. Because I know for me, when I was doing all of these things and trying to work out and trying to record, something just wouldn't get done. And I want everything to get done, and I want to feel fulfilled, and I want to feel like I'm actually doing something that is going to help me accomplish my goals. So if that's something that you're struggling with, I would highly suggest meal prepping. Go on Pinterest, pick you an easy meal that you can make, something that'll be super cheap, get you a pack of like chicken or something and some rice. I don't know, whatever you feel like you want to do. Now, I'm not a simple girly when it comes down to what I eat. So sometimes my stuff be a little bit more complex, but only because that's just how I like to eat. I don't really like boring foods. And then that makes me not want to eat the food, and then I'm eating something that's out of alignment with my goals. So I always try to make sure that I'm eating things that are in alignment with my goals, and I also try to make sure that it's the most simple thing as possible. Now, as far as anything else, now I feel like that's something that, because you have so much other free time, I feel like that's like the one thing that takes up a lot of time that could possibly not. And then you're not going out here going to get McDonald's and Chick-fil-A and things like that because you don't have food at home. So that's something that I would highly recommend, and I guarantee you, like, you're gonna have so much more time. Now also, some of the things that I do is I create a list of the top 5 things. I used to do a top 3 type of list every day, and I would just look at my planner and see what all that I had to do every day. But I didn't really find a planner useful to me, simply because I don't even really like to write, so it doesn't help to write things down for me. I do like to journal things, like for other stuff, but like as far as planning things, it doesn't really work for me. I'd rather do it on my phone because my phone is more accessible to me. So I create reminders every day. Or once a week, I'll create a reminder for myself. This is what time I'm gonna do this, or these are the top 5 things that I know I need to get done this week, whether that's wash the clothes, clean the house, I don't know, pay a certain bill at a certain time, or if it's, scheduling it, or making it my priority to spend time with friends or family that week. I make sure that I'm doing these things and setting aside allotted time to complete these tasks. Now, if those 5 things can be whatever you want them to be, whatever you need them to be, the things that need to get done this week. And I find that when we keep so many things in our brains, it overwhelms it, and we end up ultimately not getting anything done. So I recommend writing it down or putting it in your phone as a reminder, so that you can just go boop, 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 check everything off the list as you go, or check everything off the list as it needs to be checked off as you've done it. And you'll just feel so much more accomplished when you do it this way. I don't know. That's what I do. Now, I'm not saying that works for everybody. Whatever works for you. But I do recommend writing things down and getting it out of your brain so that you don't have to think about it. Really using your resources that you have to try to make your life just a little bit easier for you, so that you're not constantly thinking about the things that you need to do. And then when you're constantly thinking and you're constantly got your brain going, it really tires you out. So then you end up not doing anything. Now, I know a lot of girls are like, oh, I want to be in my soft girl era, but you have to put yourself in that soft girl era, because being a soft girly is not constantly thinking about the things that you have to do and then ultimately not doing them. Living a soft life is just because, you know, yeah, it would be nice for a man to think for me, but I don't have a man right now to think for me. So I have to think for myself. But I'm going to use something else outside of me that's going to help me think, not just me sitting here constantly racking my brain about how I'm going to get things done, how I'm going to do XYZ. I'm tired, I'm this. And ever since I've been doing this, I have found that I've had so much more downtime. So that's just some things that I recommend. And I also recommend one whole day a week. Now, this is a non-negotiable for me. One whole day a week, I am doing nothing. Now, I will say, you know, at the beginning, that's what I did a lot. But now that I'm more settled into my routine, I feel like there's times where I'm not just resting and, you know, spending all that time to myself. There are times like these 4 days that I've been off has been dedicated to other people. A couple of these days have been dedicated to other people. Well, actually only one of these days were dedicated to other people. So I find that, you know, that would have been the day where I done nothing, or it would have been the day where I done what I did today, and today would have been the day that I rested. But sometimes it's good to just plan some time, like some fun, plan some things that will bring you joy. Because yeah, although we love being at home and we love being lazy and being on the couch and stuff, it's good to spend time with other people that you don't usually see. Because I spent some time with some of my cousins from back home, and I just had a really great time. And I'm so glad that I went and not stayed at home doing nothing like I planned on doing. And I also spent time with my family, my mom and my nieces and nephew. And that was a great time. I love them. And I'm so glad that I got to spend that time with them. And you know, I'm not with the hustle culture, the hustle and bustle, like constantly going, constantly doing. But I am all about making sure that we get the things that are important to us done, and not feeling like we haven't done anything that we needed to do. Because although we are feminine and we have feminine energy within us, doesn't mean that we always need to be there. And just because, you know, and the same thing with masculine energy. So that's what I'm saying, creating this balance so that you can have that time in between to rest or to get other things done or to do other things that bring you joy, which is also feminine energy. That's like the balance of it. Now, I feel like it's more masculine when you do things and just constantly do them because you know you have to, not because you actually enjoy them. Now, the difference is when you're doing your masculine, when you have your masculine and your feminine energies working together, you're doing things that you enjoy, which is the feminine side of things, but you're actually doing it, which is the masculine side of things, which in turn brings that balance that we all desperately desire. So that has just been what's worked for me. And it's so much easier for me to be in my feminine energy, and so much easier for me to not really think about too much by just simplifying my life just a little bit in so many different ways that you wouldn't think, that things just take up so much of your time and your energy. And you also reach the goals that you want to reach, and you also get to experience the reality that you want to experience when you can minimize and simplify your life just a little bit, when you don't have those people outside of you to contribute to that part of your life. So I think that's all that I wanted to say. You can still be a soft girly and still get things done. You can still be a lazy girly and still get things done. You don't have to be lazy through and through, because I'm telling you, like, I'm not even going to say I'm a retired lazy girly, because I'm still a lazy girly. Like today, I barely wanted to do anything, but as I was getting things done, I was doing it slowly. As I could, I'll do a little, rest a little, do a little, rest a little. And whatever doesn't get done, is it a priority? No. Can I finish it tomorrow? Yes. So that's what I do. Like, just taking your time with things and not really rushing yourself to get things done, because I find that creates burnout. When you know you're tired, but you know you need to get things done. Like, okay, like today, I knew that I wanted to go and shop a little bit, so I went and got me a couple of things. And then I went and got me some food, and now I'm recording the video. But I'm probably gonna rest a little bit, and then maybe I'm gonna edit in a little bit. And you know, it's just those types of, you know, you don't really have to like constantly do. Find your way. If knocking it all out in one go is your thing, then that's your thing. Do that. But if you don't feel like that works for you, do it slowly. Do a chunk, leave it, you know, rest a chunk. Do a chunk, rest a chunk, you know? So that's just how I do things. That has helped me because I just really love a slow life. I love a soft life, and that's what softness looks like to me. Is just doing a little, resting a little. So do what works for you, honey. I don't care. I just wanted to give you some tips, and I hope that this helped you. I pray that you receive this, and I pray that somehow this resonates with you and you can apply it to your life, and you can have a more simple, soft life as well. So I pray that you guys have the most amazing day ever, the most soft day ever. And I pray that you get things done, but you also get to rest a little bit. And I also pray that this video helped you in some kind of way. And I will see you on the next one.